Will AI replace people? I've seen early on, my perspective, my theory on it is that not only will it not replace people, my belief is that AI is actually a force multiplier.
How do you feel about specific AI? Like, so for instance, I mentioned ChatGPT, but then Gemini, Google's Gemini, came out a little bit later than ChatGPT.
Yep.
Do you think that they complement each other? They're about the same in terms of like what they provide?
If you're not ranking in the top 1, 2, and 3 in your market, then your competitors are, right? So. Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of SEO Secrets. I'm super excited because Melissa Toledo, our director of content, is here joining us. And Mel, I could be thinking wrong, but is this your first time on a podcast as with somebody else?
Yes, ever. I've listened to hundreds, never been actually on one.
Well, welcome
to
the SEO Secrets podcast. That's awesome.
Appreciate it.
So Mel, just take a couple quick seconds, if you would. Tell us about yourself and what you do here at Bipper Media.
Sure. So I have been with Bipper, I want to say 7 years now.
Yeah. So
it's been great. And basically, I know I started off as a freelancer writing. This was way before AI. And then went into the, SEO, site structuring and all the SEO team stuff. And then essentially you guys were gracious and opened up a position for content department. So
yeah,
here we are.
And now you're leading the whole thing, which is amazing. And so Mel, quick side question.
Yes.
You have your degree, right?
Right.
What is your degree in?
Public relations.
Nice. So it correlates pretty well with what you're doing here at Bipper Media.
I want to say a small percentage, but
to a degree.
But a very important percentage. Yes, to a degree.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And Mel, because we're in Athens, Georgia, home of Bulldog Country, where again did you get your degree from?
From the University of Florida.
Oh, I actually knew that. I was just teeing this up here.
Yeah, I figured that's what you were doing. It's hard. It's hard being a Gator in Bulldog Country, especially when the last couple seasons have been abysmal. But
yeah, I mean, but you manage it well.
I try to. Yes.
You have your security force around you
that's right.
Keeps you safe. And awesome. Well, Mel, thanks again for being here on the podcast. We're going to dive into all things SEO.
Awesome. I'm very excited. So I will ask you a question.
Okay.
I know that this was I don't even know the time frame, but it was a while back that you and Caesar had talked about how you were feeling about AI. And this is, I feel like, more closer to the beginning of AI emerging.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you know this, but ChatGPT hasn't been around that long.
No.
I want to say relatively new, 23 or something. But anyway, and so he was skeptical about it, and you were more gung-ho about it. And so since that time, I just wanted to see, how do you feel about it now? More gung-ho?
Yeah.
Same? Anyway,
Yeah. No, I remember Caesar and I talking about it, and it's accelerated. So more gung-ho than ever before. That was, like you were saying, that was kind of like early days. It's actually if you look at it, it's been around a while. I think we started adopting and really seeing the fit for AI in Bipper Media recently. But even in that time when Caesar and I were talking, it was like you were saying, it was like the early days of us really shifting that way. But since then to now, it's nothing but accelerated. In my view, my perspective, it's, as you know, in content and in SEO, it's just really becoming a corner piece to everything we do.
I agree. It's very true. Okay, so I know that we, like you just said, started doing that, recently. I would say probably a year?
Yeah.
Something about?
Yeah, that's fair.
And I know that we do talk about the human touch. So, do you still think that is important with...
you mean
adopting...
What role do people play in AI? Yeah, so and especially in your world with content, You know, and I'm not telling you anything you don't know. People listening, though, this is like extremely valuable.
Right.
The way we approach content, it's like a hybrid approach, right? So we'll use we'll use AI. AI will allow scale like we've never had before. And then, as you know, the human element, you know, we don't just take content at like the initial, call it like version 1.0 of what AI puts out. We then take it and add kind of the human touch to it to refine. That's why it's more of a hybrid approach. Right. And I think that's the right thing to do, especially for our clients, because you've got to get the context right. And also the why, like not everybody is using AI just to publish the next blog post, right? Some clients they need like a service page or they need a city page. And there's elements to it that we do that are unique to those particular pages of content. So we'll use AI to help with scale. Right. And then we will use people to help with the editing and the refinement, so to speak. So that's why it's very much a hybrid approach, is I think the easiest way to put it.
Yes, definitely. I personally I'm more confident about AI now than I was even a year ago or less than a year ago. But obviously I understand how important it is to have that because, I mean, humans have been writing for, hundreds of years, thousands of years. And so it's like, I feel like it's hard for us to like let that control go to just AI and then rely, because I know ChatGPT especially has become considered like a reliable source, but there's still sometimes like, yes, you do have to check it because sometimes there's information there that is incorrect. Like they'll reference like a restaurant and that's been closed, or it's not even in the right city that, the prompt is for. So there's that. So I'm glad that we have AI for scalability, but I just love that we still are needed.
Still needed. You have to fact check. And really, like, to me, it opens up the whole conversation of, like, I've been asked quite a bit. We've even talked about it internally as a team. Will AI replace people? Right? Very common question. And I've seen early on my perspective, my theory on it is that not only will it not replace people, it might at a very granular level, like specific use case job role level. But my belief is that AI is actually a force multiplier, like in the economy as a whole, certainly in Bipper Media, because like we talked about, if AI is adding more scale, like scalability, that means we're able to publish things faster, which means we can actually work with we can have more client orders and demand. But like you were saying, we take this hybrid approach with people, altering and tweaking and refining for our clients. Well, you see what I mean? If we have more client demand, we need to output more content, but we need people to actually play that hybrid role in refining the content. We need more people, right? So that's a great example of how I see it as a force multiplier. Because more scale is happening and you have that hybrid dynamic, we need more people. So that, that's just kind of a quick perspective on how I think AI is actually a force multiplier in the economy as a whole, and certainly in Bipper Media.
Yes, I appreciate.
But what do you think?
So I agree for sure. I mean, look, being that we are in Bulldog country, going back to that, and we've had a lot of interns from UGA, from Grady journalism school, and I feel like that. And it's funny because I remember our first interns for Bipper was a couple years ago, and they were using an AI tool that it was basically like an outsource. I don't even know if how much AI they were using. Again, it could have been a very, very primitive before, ChatGPT and all that. But then it was like people from other countries. And so you could tell that the raw content that would come back had to be edited like
a lot.
bunch, yes.
Yeah.
And so it was helpful that they were around to do that, and because they were so used to it, they did it very quickly. So then there's also from there, at some point, the same interns or new interns started, using ChatGPT at UGA.
Yeah.
And so then, they were like, hey, and they were very like well versed in ChatGPT to use it for here, because that's when we started using it.
Yeah.
And I noticed it really helped with when we were getting so many clients, because sometimes we'd have one client that was like, oh, I'd like to sign up for, I don't know, 15 blogs a month or something. And that wouldn't have been possible if we didn't have that as a foundation, and it's just become more refined. So I do agree that we still need people, and the more content we produce, obviously, like, we'll want to make sure that
it's back to why I see it as a force multiplier. So that's awesome.
The other thing too I was going to mention actually was how do you feel about specific AI? Like, so for instance, I mentioned ChatGPT, but then Gemini, Google's Gemini, came out a little bit later than ChatGPT.
Yep.
Do you think that they complement each other? They're about the same in terms of like what they provide, or one might be a little bit better? Because I noticed that there's so many other like Perplexity and what is it? There's another one that I can't remember now, but there's been a lot that have come out. So I'm just wondering like if you're familiar with those. And
definitely. Well, at the forefront, like the lion's share of use is obviously Google search. Right. Because Gemini, and really we're now talking about Google AI Overview, is the biggest use percentage. The snippet overviews that you see at the top of the search results, that is really an answer to why you need to optimize for AI, because those AI overviews, you'll notice if you go and now start searching and look, the AI overviews are actually above even the ads. In most cases. Now, I'm not saying it's 100%. Right. You might find examples where you're like, hey, no, it's actually, but for the majority of the searches, Google understands the importance of AI, and the AI overviews are showing at the very top. Now, to your question, like the compare and contrast between the two, it's like an answer engine, just in a different approach. Like obviously a different approach. They take more of a chat, like a text message chat approach. But ultimately, people are turning to both platforms to get answers and to find resources. So in that degree, that's the common denominator. And especially with AI overviews in Google, which is powered by Gemini, if you're not showing up in the AI overviews, your competitors are. It's kind of the same thing we said with old school SEO. Like if you're not ranking in the top 1, 2, and 3 in your market, then your competitors are. Right. So it's a very big deal. And then, like, as we're now getting literally, we've never had it before. Clients are now asking us, how do we get found in AI overview? How do we get found more in ChatGPT? Right. It's just, it's accelerating at a rapid pace.
I agree. I find myself doing the same, when I obviously do my queries and it generates obviously the content. And before, it wouldn't have like the sources that ChatGPT graph pulled from Google, obviously from other businesses. Obviously now it does, and it's like every couple paragraphs or every paragraph, it'll have the source that they pulled it from. Like depending on the industry, let's say I was doing something for a plumbing company, it'll have those, and it'll sometimes it's like the same company. Sometimes it's a different one, but every so often we'll see, I'll see like a client of ours, like something pop up because we've been producing this content consistently over a good amount of time. And I feel like their chances have increased to like,
The old school SEO, which is like a lot of content, a lot of authoritative backlinks, that holds true. But the new AI optimization angle is the structured data schema. We talk about it a lot here. Schema is the data type, the data structure that takes what otherwise would just be a plain page of content, and we are now producing the same page of content for clients, but adding in the schema optimization, which that's what the AI crawlers are looking for.
Right.
If it's just a page of content, then it's just like everybody else.
Yes. I get very excited when we do see people, either our clients or sometimes I'll see us show up on there. So
yeah. And like I said, like we now have clients never had it before asking us, how do we get more visibility in these AI platforms? So yeah, we got to be on top of it. We got to be way ahead of the curve and embracing it and figuring it out for our clients and for Bipper Media. Yeah. So
definitely.
Awesome. All right. Well, Mel, I think that wraps up our time together. It was so awesome having you. Any final closing thoughts?
You know what? That actually went more smoothly than I thought I was going to go because, again, first podcast that I'm in front of the camera, and you know how I feel about cameras.
Yeah.
But
I think you excelled at it, Mel. So maybe you can add to your things that you do because, you have nothing but time on your hands. So maybe you can lead podcasts.
There we go. I'll put it on my resume.
Awesome. Well, Mel, thank you so much. Thank you all for watching SEO Secrets, and we'll see you soon.